This is the Refuge Project.
This is a Refuge Project.
Yeah.
It's a throwback, baby.
The boys are back in town.
You guys are out of control.
What?
We're 18 seconds in. Y'all out of control already.
Out of control. Hey, listen. Pastor Caesar's back, and it might not be safe.
It's not safe.
It might not be a safe
I'm
place.
on one
anyway.
tonight.
Nobody's safe with Caesar around.
You know, it happens. It happens.
And I'm excited.
When you bring the youth pastor in the building, you just never know. You know what I mean?
Well, you used to be a youth pastor, too.
I know.
That's why he's out of control.
You guys, I'm just hanging out with a couple of youth pastors.
Right? Right?
This explains a lot about me.
What do you think? I'm just going to just jump right in. What do you think the secret is, if you just like the number one most important thing to be a youth pastor?
The team around you.
So good. Okay, what's number two? Like as far as the kids themselves,
Showing up.
just being there.
Just being there. Yeah, I think most of the time, you know, they come to you with an issue, a problem, and after you've gained their confidence, of course, but and which contributes to showing up. But you just let them talk, and then at the end of that conversation, they look at you like you're Yoda or something because you've given them some
Life experience. That's all it is, right?
Incredible, piece of wisdom, and you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
You just said, It's like, well, yeah, life, it do be like that.
Yeah.
And then they, they take that, and I think they're just looking for an ear. The one thing that I've definitely learned with young people over the years is just they just want to be heard.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. I remember those random texts. Pastor David, I'm like talking to this person in class, and they ask me this. I'm just like, okay, like I don't know the answer to that, But then you start,
Especially at that point. I mean, you've been out of school for 60 years.
But like when you're working two jobs, like you're doing right now, like you're like plugged into whatever your job is, and then you just get asked this like random question, and you have to like shift gears and rethink, and then the Lord begins to speak to you, and you're able to give them that information. But I remember those days. they keep you sharp.
Oh yeah, no, the week and a half ago, just same what you're describing right now. I get a random text from one of our youth, and they're like, "Hey, I ran into one of my friends that is a Seventh-day Adventist, and we're not." So they get into we get into the whole when is Sabbath, and if anybody you worship on another day or whatever. So it just right off the cuff, it's like, man, you're 15 and you're asking these questions, but it gives me hope that that the future, whenever I'm dead and gone, definitely when you're dead and gone,
right, just around the corner,
Could
man.
be any day now.
Hey, speaking of dead and gone, today's the day, bro. I'm putting it out there for the universe to hear. Today, I'm giving up sugar. I'm giving up sodas.
Forever?
I'm going on a hardcore.
For how long?
Getting into my summer body. At least until I get to Hawaii.
And when are you going? I don't remember.
July.
Okay. So that's, what is it, April?
June, July.
So
When's your tent? July?
July.
We got April,
June.
May, June. So you got 3 months?
June.
Beginning of June or end of June?
The end of June. So I got to get skinny for Hawaii and then look halfway decent for youth camp. So we'll see what happens.
We went to Hawaii a few years ago,
Yeah.
and I don't think you need to worry about a beach body.
That's true. They ain't
But
too worried about it.
it's more for
you
myself.
went a couple months ago,
Yeah,
right?
it's still pretty big over there.
This is more for myself.
You
know what
should
I
do
mean?
it. You got to do it for you, man.
And then I think I'm going to tanning bed. What do you think about tanning bed?
I don't think you should do that.
I don't know why I just thought about that.
I think
for
that's a
some
horrible
reason.
idea.
You'll burn.
I think if you do it, it'll be fun for us, but I think you may not enjoy it as much as you think.
I don't know why I just thought about that.
You look like
tanning
one of those-
bed. That wasn't on my plans, but
Dude.
all of a sudden, maybe it should be.
You
It-
look like one of
it
those
might kill you.
sausages that's just ready to bust whenever.
Have
it's
you ever
on
been
the-
in a tanning bed?
No,
Me
I'm
neither.
not.
You?
I'm brown.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to.
There's no reason for me to go get in a tanning bed.
I don't know, man. I feel like,
I don't think I'm any more attractive.
do you see my
than I am
head?
white.
The rest of my body don't look like that. So if I took my shirt off,
Yeah.
I would look weird.
You know,
Yeah.
my first.
I mean,
If you feel the need to get tanner, you should just tan, like with the sun.
but I don't do
Don't
that.
do the tanning bed.
yeah,
no.
I'm not proud to say that I've seen that site. And
Pastor Caesar is one of the few people that see me. In
Hey,
my
I'm down to see it.
whitey-tighties.
I'll see it right now. I'd love it. It would be great.
he's standing up, ladies and gentlemen. He's standing up.
No, I'm not. Okay, speaking of that, okay, people is really questioning a lot of things about you, James.
What are you talking about?
Last week,
Yeah.
I got a lot of questions.
I'm just going to say before you even continue, I stand by anything I said. Just not even knowing what
They
you're
don't
gonna
even
say.
know how you're married.
Oh, I got the best wife ever.
Well, you have to after some of the comments you made last week.
Well, because
about
I
how
said
dirty
women
you-
are
Pretty great.
disgusting.
Yeah.
They are disgusting. People are disgusting. Women are disgusting in their own feminine way. Guys are disgusting in their own manly way. People are gross, dude. Babies are disgusting.
Speaking of disgusting, I went to a restaurant yesterday and they
they're
had the
making-
most clean restrooms I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
That's nice.
that's
Yeah.
shady.
Is it?
Yeah.
It was a Papa's, the Mexican Papa's,
Papacitos.
Papacitos.
The Mexican pop.
The Mexican papas.
Clean.
Yeah.
But I think it's because I went there at 3:00, right? So lunch was over. Maybe they cleaned the restrooms and they were preparing for dinner.
That would normally be when it would be the most dirty.
Oh,
So
really?
that's a good sign.
Wow.
Yeah. The afternoon and then like right before close.
I don't trust it.
That's what they call the red zones in the restaurant world.
But I would tell you, $25 a plate.
Yeah, no. they're-
Good gracious.
Yeah.
The Mexican food was not that good.
No, that's not Mexican food.
It's not Mexican food.
Is it Tex-Mex then?
I'd much rather eat from a taqueria for $12.
Yeah. Well, different thing.
Definitely. We was actually talking about
We've
that.
talked about this before. Different thing. Tex-Mex and like Mexican, not the same thing.
Because we were in Katy and we were trying to find a good Mexican restaurant.
That's like an oxymoron.
Nothing. I mean, they had taquerias everywhere, 3 stars.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And there was one on every corner, 3 stars.
Katie, you could probably find some decent Tex-Mex that's overpriced over there.
No.
No?
Not according to Yelp.
Oh, well.
3 stars. There was nothing more than 3 stars.
Yelp said it.
Yelp has really never let me down.
Okay.
Maybe one time. How do y'all eat when you go out, like,
What do you mean?
out of town?
What do you mean?
How do you find a place to eat?
Oh, I'll probably Google something.
Social media.
We'll decide. Well, first off, it depends on where you're at. Because if you go to like a small place, like a small town somewhere, there's probably only a couple options anyway. That's within 15 minutes. So you just say, hey, did you want to go to the barbecue place or you want to go to this place? And that's it.
Yeah.
And if I'm in Colorado or something, I go, I'm not going to the barbecue place. I'll go to, so it depends on where you're at. What's the demographic of the region and what kind of foods are being offered. So that's the first thing
That's
that
a
you
lot
do.
of thinking.
That's the first thought. And then you say, well, what's around? And you can Google it. You can search up whatever type of food near me, and a bunch of things will pop up.
I have found a lot of success on Reddit because those people,
Those people don't mess around you.
No, they'll tell you exactly what it is.
They're going to say some wild stuff,
because of
and,
Google-
but it's going to be really what they think.
Right, because Google, the reviews on there or any of the other review platforms or whatever, you don't know if somebody paid for that. And, but you go to Reddit and they'll tell you exactly what they think.
We go Guy
Guy Fieri? Oh, yeah, you do
His-
diners, drive-in.
Yeah, we
Fieri?
try to find one of his
Fieri?
places
What
that
is
he's
it?
went to.
It's
That's
confetti. It's Guy.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, dude, he's just barely younger than David, and he's still out there knocking back
right.
all the
But you remember
Dyeing
that
his
guy?
hair, bleaching
Yeah,
his
he's
hair
still
out.
got that blonde hair.
You remember
He's
that guy
tanning,
from,
dude.
what was it, Man versus Food? Didn't he have to quit because he gained so much weight?
I don't know,
Yes.
but I do remember him. But no, I don't remember.
Yes,
the
he got
end
in
of his
bad
tail.
shape, just like the dude that did the McDonald challenge or whatever.
You said McDonald?
McDonald.
That's right, dude. He's 95.
Is it, what is it, Mick?
Yeah.
Is it really Mick?
Well, it depends on how old you are.
Isn't it Mac? MC Mac?
Well, around these parts is Mickey D's.
MC is
Dude,
Mac.
I hate McDonald's.
Mick is MC, like McDaniel's,
Okay, so if you had to
McNeil.
eat a burger between, we're taking Whataburger out, okay? McDonald's, Sonic, Jack in the Box.
Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic for sure.
Sonic,
One more time.
I'm going Sonic.
McDonald's, Jack in the Box, or Sonic.
Yeah, probably Sonic.
See, I'm thinking.
Well, wait, how much money do I have to spend?
And then time constraint too, because if you're on a, you got to be somewhere in 10 minutes. You go get some nuggies or something like that. And then
Burger. I listen. If I'm gonna eat a fast food burger, I want it bad. I want it bad.
I get it.
I want it greasy and nasty and bad for you.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Jack in the Box.
You're going Jack in the Box.
I'm gonna go
Jack in the Box is a little too much.
ultimate cheeseburger with bacon.
It's
Just
fine.
dirty and nasty.
you're gonna do
Yeah,
it.
it's
You're
a
gonna do
little
all
too
right for
much.
those 2 months where you're not eating sugar. And
I
bad
know.
food.
It's going to be terrible.
Wait,
it's going to be the
so-
worst 2 months of my life.
Hey, so is it just no sugar or what
No,
else?
no. I'm going hardcore, probably like super keto, vegetables and fruit and.
So you're eating nothing but fruits and vegetables?
No. I mean, it's just a lot of fruit and vegetables, but keto based.
You're going keto based.
Keto based, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's going to be tough, dude.
It's gonna be tough. Hey, I lost 60 pounds on it one time.
Nice.
Yeah, gained 90 back.
That is my point with all diets right there. It's the prime example. Is people do exactly what you just described. They go real hard for a short amount of time, and they go way too hard. So that by the time that time frame that they established is over, they go real hard the other direction.
Yeah, that's what happened in Hawaii.
And then and they just keep going back and forth, back and forth. What you should do is go less hard.
I don't got time.
You got time, dude.
Should have started 3 months ago.
You got time. You got the rest of your life.
Yeah. But after Hawaii, then we'll start the rest of my life.
You ain't gonna make it, dude.
I'm not gonna make what
the rest
the
of
rest
your
of my
life.
life.
You ain't gonna make it to the rest of your life, dude.
Who was it during convocation? Who was it? Was it Kingsley? He said our best years are ahead. I was like, no, they're not.
They ain't ahead of you, man.
Nah, you ain't lived like I lived.
You should go like 40% as hard as you're wanting to go, and then just do that forever. That's what you should do.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna back it down 40% when I get there.
So you're still gonna go hard till then.
Yeah, hard
That's fine.
until then. Because what I found
But
out.
look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm saying it again. If you go super hard till then,
100
as
pounds?
soon as you start saying, "Okay, now I can ease up because I earned it," whatever, you're gonna want to go real hard the other
7 times
direction.
more the devil.
This is the problem. Because I'm mental. Okay?
Yeah, no, we know.
I'm mental. So whatever I decide to do is like
Trying to tan, dude.
it's
You're like 70 years old. You're thinking about going tanning. You got to tell me you're mental. This guy, dude.
I'm 1,000% whatever it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
So I can't just like I just eat a donut every once in a while. No, it's all the donuts
Or none.
or none.
Well, then you might need to go none.
Yeah, so we're going none.
And this is another reason I think you shouldn't tan. Because you're going to come out looking
Looking
wild.
like a
dude.
donut.
You're going to be looking wild.
But look like a burnt kolache.
Boy built like a crackling bag.
It's not going to be good.
That's
Dude,
what
go
I'm-
get tan. Come back looking like Trump. And I'll support it, man. I'll support it. Every time people go whisper and point at you when you walk by, I'll say, "Hey, he looks good."
Yeah.
I'll let him know.
You made red great again.
All right. We just Easter. We just celebrated Easter.
Yeah, we
How was Easter for you? You was looking good. You was looking good.
Easter was totally fine.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I almost went to El Paso yesterday
Almost.
because on Easter, so we go to my parents' house. That's like where we have all the Easter stuff.
You made a wrong turn going to your parents' house.
And I was like, this isn't my parents. No, I get a phone call from my buddy who's touring right now with their band, and he says, "Hey, you free tomorrow? Something happened with our drummer. We need a fill-in. We're in El Paso tomorrow." And I said, "Yeah, I'm free tomorrow."
Didn't you
I'll
have
do
like
it.
a bad experience last time you went to El Paso?
It wasn't El Paso. It was McAllen.
And they're all the same.
It's close
Yeah,
enough.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Long story short, he calls me later that night and says, "Hey, you know what? We don't need you after all." And so I said, "Okay, no problem."
He's like, this drummer just crossed the border.
But for for like 4 hours, I was like, "Oh, I got to learn 15 songs by tomorrow." Okay, I went and learned them all real quick.
So what, like a
Got
miracle?
some blisters on my
like
fingers.
the dude went to church for Easter and got healed. And
I didn't
was
ask
like,
him all the details. He was clearly like in the middle of some kind of crisis.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure it out, and so I wasn't going to be like, hey, why don't you explain everything to me right now? I was just like, yeah, you need me there tomorrow? I can do it.
Pastor Martin preached an amazing message. I thought it was very, very good.
It was good. Service went good. Everything went good.
Very good. It wasn't a typical Easter message by no means, but it was a salvation message. And man, I was stunned when nobody responded to it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely stunned.
Yeah.
I don't understand unless there was just, I don't know, because I mean, the worship was moving, everything was headed that way. You know, you can always see in services like where you're headed, you know, and then the message was on point, and then nobody. I was just
honestly, I don't think there was that many visitors there though. It was more of a salvation message.
Yeah.
In one. Oh,
Well,
never mind. There was more than I thought.
Yeah, we had almost 10.
Well, I do happen to know from a good source that one of the guys that was here, is faithful to the church, talked to one of those visitors, and he gave his life over to the Lord that day.
Awesome.
And he said if that didn't happen, he was going to end it all that day.
Wow.
Yeah, there
After
you go.
church.
Yeah, you
Wow.
never know what's going on.
Pastor
in the
Mark
soul.
needs to know that. You know, because when you have a message like he has, especially when you step out of the norm and you go straight like salvation message like he preached, and you're not really hitting the Easter stuff. He hit on it, but and then nobody, man, that could be heartbreaking, especially when you know like God like ordained this message and gave it to you, and then nobody raises their hand. That's tough.
Yeah, it was the nails being hammered that echoed through the sanctuary for me. I was looking at it online. I had to run out of the sanctuary to go do some stuff, but it came across online.
You know that almost didn't happen.
With the sound.
Yeah, because those pipes shouldn't have been there. And I thought,
Oh yeah, you were gonna take them away.
I thought
You're about to steal these.
they were Jimmy's that he was doing a project and left them up there.
We would have found them. I would have got them back.
So I was about to just like take him and you know,
funny.
not in my sound booth.
As soon as you walked out of the sound booth, Miss Blanche walked up and said,
Okay.
and she was like, "Hey, at the end, I'm gonna hit these."
Oh,
now."
okay, yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, you're why these are here."
I
we
told
were
her, I
just
said,
wondering.
man, I almost took those and like went and put them on Jimmy's desk because they didn't belong up
Nah,
here.
we would have came and got them back.
Yeah.
It would have been fine.
Easter Bunny strikes again. Huh?
So I told my
Tell 'em what
grandkids. He's like, "Pops, when we gonna hunt Easter eggs?" And I said, "Son, the Easter Bunny didn't make it through hunting season." He looked at me. He looked at me like
Wascally Wabbit.
he was so sad.
Yeah, you just told him there's no more Easter ever, basically. You just told him somebody shot Santa, essentially. Like, that's what you just told him.
Stacy made it very, very.
You didn't
good.
even tell him, the people that, like, you changed
I
it.
just
You just
really-
left it, letting them think that you just told them.
We ended up doing it.
How old is your grandson?
7.
Okay.
7.
Okay. Yeah.
It's time. It's time for him to
It's
know.
time.
Yeah.
It's time for him to know. Go around and get beat up by
Yeah.
kids in children's church.
Can't just be hopping anywhere you want.
You know, he's country club living over there with us.
David's got a country club membership now.
Ah,
We just found out.
stop it.
You don't even want to hear how much he's paying a month for this, dude. He don't
It's
even go.
ridiculous.
He's
Pennies on a dollar.
okay, yeah.
Pennies on a
I
dollar.
was
Don't
gonna-
act like it was a bunch.
I was gonna make it sound like it's a lot of money.
But it's not.
I mean, it's not.
You spend
for
more
you.
on hamburgers a week than I do that on a month.
No, I don't.
Not James.
Not
does.
you, but, like-
James does not.
People out there.
Well, if you count it, I probably spend about the same.
$30 a month.
No, on burgers, I probably get it once a week, and it's like $20 these days. If I get like me and Tara,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Wait a minute. Back to the beginning. Sonic is not fast food.
oh yeah, it is. What do you call it?
I've never been to a fast Sonic. You have?
Oh, you're just saying it's slow,
Yeah.
but it's in the same. We can say the service is slow for sure, but it's in the fast food category.
I defer.
Yeah, just-
We're getting,
which is ironic with a name like Sonic.
speaking,
being so
right. We're speaking. Oh, hey, guess what? So I don't know if y'all follow the news or anything, but in our district, we are. We've been in the courts the last few years about hair.
In your
Okay,
school district?
in the school district.
About hair.
The irony is you have not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
you can keep it up with
there's a pretty big one going on, lawsuit going on about
Real hairy situation.
It's a real hairy situation, and it
Yeah, where's
says
my button? Oh, no, my bad. I meant that one. I meant that one.
the first one was right.
Yeah, I guess so.
And this is young black kid, and he came, and he had his dreads that were longer than he was supposed to have.
To school.
Right? Yeah. All that to say this, I'm not going to get into that. Well, our local hairdresser, she only does guys' hair, right? And so our mascot is the eagle, right? The Barbary Hill Eagle. Well, she's got this haircut that she's like,
Calling it the eagle?
she's calling it the legal eagle.
Because it's just long enough or just short enough?
She keeps these kids with long hair, but just in the dress code.
What's the length requirement? Like,
Can't get over your ears, not past your eyebrows,
yeah.
and can't hit your collar.
I know what you're talking about.
So now
Sounds
she-
like the Chick-fil-A.
And listen, man,
requirement.
as a small business owner, that is
Yeah, it's genius.
it's genius.
The legal
The
eagle.
legal eagle.
Yeah, it's genius.
I like it. It sounds good. Does it look good, though?
You know,
No. No.
He said, you know?
I mean, these kids. Half of these kids they got mullets. They
Yeah, that's
wear.
what I was gonna say.
They wear.
Hey, the mullet's coming back. People are
bro, it's
wearing the
back.
mullets.
It is back in the legal eagle. Over
It's
there.
yeah. People
Listen,
are wearing
okay,
the mullet.
okay, listen. Young, rich, blonde kid. Well, he's not rich. His parents are rich. Y'all think y'all give me crap? I'm the poor guy
Yeah.
in our neighborhood.
Well, come to our neighborhood. That can change. All over ours, okay? That'll change real quick. You get out of your neighborhood. Come be the poor guy at the apartments by neighborhood. Dude, you know there's a cop in my apartments every day arresting somebody. I don't know what they're doing every day.
Dude, those
At least once a week, I pass the apartments to go to my house, and there's a cop in there arresting
Oh,
somebody.
dude,
Come to my neighborhood, dude.
He's trying to make us feel bad for him.
Yeah, because I don't
Guys,
have.
I'm the poor guy.
I gotta use the discount at the country
dude,
club.
I sound like a politician saying that.
I'm the poor guy.
You're Biden over there talking about, like, I know, I am.
Yeah, one time my Corvette caught on
Yeah,
fire.
I know what you're going through.
Okay, that wasn't the way to lead that.
I don't even remember what you said.
I don't even know.
I cut you off. My bad, dude.
Oh, these kids, the way they dress these days.
They're crazy.
These little blonde kids with the mullet, and then they got like some fancy shirt on, right?
Yeah.
Button-up shirt with the collar, with the pair of gym shorts,
Yeah, dude, they're crazy.
long socks with the Jesus sandals.
Yeah, it's stupid, man.
What is that?
It's stupid.
You know what stupid is? My kid wants to do that.
Yeah, dude. Which one?
Noah.
You're gonna have to fix that.
I don't know what to do. Everybody in his school, like, he don't look like that. He's the only one.
So what, dude?
It's tough out here being a parent, an old dad.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
I go to the ballpark and they're like, "Which one's your grandson?"
yeah.
You mean the country club?
It's the only one that doesn't have socks and slides and a backwards hat on.
Hey, and speaking of Jesus sandals, those things are $100.
Yeah, dude. Let me tell you about this. You ready? All these rich kids spend all this time and money and effort to look like they don't have that much money by buying expensive, crappy-looking things. And then all the poor kids do the exact opposite. They spend all this time and effort buying cheap versions of expensive-looking, crappy things. It's all trash.
That's me. I got the hookup in China.
That's true, you do. You do it for a different reason, though. You do it just because you don't want
I'm
to pay.
cheap.
Like,
I'm
yeah, but
cheap. But I tell my kids they're real.
But the kids living in the apartments by my house, they're trying. They want everybody to think they got the real deal. You know, none of the kids are just happy where they're at.
That's true.
It's either the rich kids, they don't want to look too rich, but they're spending a ton of money to not look too rich, or it's the poor kids, they don't want to look too poor, but they're not spending hardly any money to look really rich. it's crazy.
So I've been. Oh, go ahead.
No, this is the only difference between homeless people and kids nowadays is an iPhone. That's it.
Dude, the homeless people probably have an iPhone. Too.
Maybe so.
Dude, there's this guy in my Chipotle over there. There's a.
He owns a Chipotle too.
No,
by
I
the way.
don't.
He's a mobile.
It's not my Chipotle, but the one we go to. This dude sits there all day long on his phone.
Yeah. Well, what else you gonna do?
He's an influencer.
Yeah, he's
Like, what do you do? Like, do something.
what's he gonna do?
I get a job.
Yeah, that's one
Dude,
of the
he's
hardest-
already got a phone.
Going back to call back to the youth pastor thing where we started out. It is so difficult to try to convince these kids that they're not going to be influencers making
I know.
hundreds of millions of dollars.
Or athletes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I tell my kid, look, nah, you ain't gonna make it. You gonna play this? You gonna play this for fun the rest of your life?
Genetics is like genetics is not on your side.
No, look at your dad. I'm 5'4", 300 pounds.
Son, you're not gonna make it, but you should still try
Yeah, try hard
for now.
but you suck.
I like
no,
that.
no, none of my kids. All of my kids are like decent athletes, but they
Yeah.
don't have that.
The star quality.
So they got to
Yeah.
go to the next league.
That's me. I was always a decent athlete, but
Yeah.
there was height and weight and all those things.
Yeah,
It
that
just-
was me too.
Yeah,
Me too. I get it.
I don't know.
But I stopped in high school because I knew. I saw that for myself.
Like, no one wants to play football. I'm like, no, we're not putting your body through that for you just to stop in junior high because you're not going to make the high school team because you're just going to be too small.
Now with that attitude,
I mean-
right, dude. Now he's got to prove you wrong. Look,
And
what
that's
you
the
done.
thing. No one would.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you can't get it. Oh, this is what they do. Just let me play flag football.
Yeah.
And they get their foot in the door, right? And then we're like, well, everyone here, all my friends are playing football in the junior high.
They call
because-
me names because I'm playing
It's
flag.
but it's like
football.
those kids whenever they're in band or something like that, and they're playing like the bassoon. It's like, what are you gonna do after you graduate? I mean, there's nobody. There's not a hot demand for a bassoon player.
Not a lot, but
There's one in every city.
hey, be the best. You could be that one. It's like being a piano tuner.
You know, but
You don't need a lot of them, but
And band
you need
these
one
days-
somewhere.
You'll need
You could
one.
be that guy.
to be in band these days and like in your top band, you have to play multiple instruments.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know.
Why you gotta
Luce
play-
got Luce come home because I got to learn how to play the flute this week.
Flute.
I'm just like, the flute. He goes, yeah, there's a part in there and they need a flutist, and the teacher said I need to learn it this week.
There's no other flautist in the band.
Flutist,
I think it's
flautist?
flautist.
That makes me hungry though. Flautist.
It's not fluter.
I'm pretty sure it's flautist. I'm totally open to being wrong about
so
this,
glad
but
Caesar-
I think
Get over here, fluter.
It's so much better with Caesar's back.
it's
I'm
great.
not the
Look,
only
where's
one being
the-
inappropriate.
There we go. You flirt. Hey, she's back. Hey, you go.
Hey, you fluters, be quiet.
Okay, wait. But is it because they don't have enough kids to play all the instruments?
Well,
'Cause that would make
because
sense.
You know, like a jazz band, there's only a certain amount of kids in a jazz band.
Okay, so it's in the jazz band.
Yeah. So the higher you get in the different bands, they expect you, like they needed a bass player, right? So somebody has to learn how to play the bass.
Yeah.
So, people, normally a drummer or something like that goes, I don't pick up bass, play bass.
That's exactly how his drummer
I don't
sound.
think.
Yeah.
I don't think David's ever played in a jazz band before.
No, but that's who it is, And then there was no drummer, so one of
You got a jazz band with no drummer.
what they do now, the dude learned how to play. Like
It's a avant-garde jazz band, no drummer.
and the dude's good now. Like now, the end of the year, he's actually pretty good.
That's nice.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but when was the last? I mean, like you, I would think James would. If I asked him, when was the last time you saw a jazz band? He will have a response, right? But
Yeah, it's not very often.
yeah, but it's like these kids, they pour their whole life into learning how to, do something useless.
Well, the jazz thing's a little different because if you want to be some kind of either a music teacher of some kind, you want any kind of career in the music world. If you learn to play jazz, it's useful.
Yeah,
You're probably
yeah,
not
yeah.
going to be playing jazz your whole life, but those skills and the concepts and the scales and the keys and all that stuff, it translates over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like all my dad, my grandpa, when they went to school to get their music degrees. They had to do all this stuff that they were never going to do. Like they had to write I think my grandpa had to sing an opera piece. Like they had to do all these weird things like that. Not because he's going to be an opera singer.
Yeah.
But it's just
So he can understand the opera.
you
Genre.
you learn all this stuff through learning that should be useful
My whole point is
theoretically.
that most people will never pursue that.
Yeah.
But you have a kind of a different look on like higher education too, don't you? Don't
Yeah, I
you?
mean, I went to school. I got my credentials and stuff, and a lot of it is just to get your foot in the door, right?
Yeah.
But once you're there, all the book stuff goes out the window. Now, I can't speak for things like lawyers or doctors where you actually
accounting, stuff like that.
yeah. But everything else that's not that.
I kind of agree. I think that college is good because you teach discipline. It teaches study guides and different things like that. It does give you some knowledge, but I will say, if a guy like me can just like fit in somewhere and just work your way up, it's not that hard.
Well, yeah, no, like I agree. I agree. College is. I think college is good. I also think that college is not for everyone. But I also think that everybody should at least try and see if that's for them.
I think we're sending our kids off away from home too early. Mm-hmm. You know, I think community college is where it's at. Stay home 2 more years, and then when you're 19, 20, then send them off where you can't find them at the end of the night or not coming home and those type of things. A little bit more mature, especially maybe like guys that are like very immature still at 18. I am so glad that we talked Lucas staying home for 2 more years. Yeah. Not that Lucas is a super immature kid.
No, there's just a lot of life skills to learn after you graduate.
Yeah. And then colleges are so liberal now. You still have 2 more years to speak into their life. 2 more years of foundation you get to give them.
Well, the community college starting off is good because it's like infinitely cheaper, first off. And as far as just getting your basic...
And nobody's going to go, where did you go for your first 2 years of college?
Yeah, as far as getting your basics in the first couple years, you get that anywhere, and it's pretty much the same. And then, and also, I don't know what the percentage is. You could probably Google it. But the amount of kids that start their college with 1 degree in mind and then a year or 2 in say, you know what, actually I'd rather do this other degree.
Yeah.
And then half the classes they took don't even apply.
Yeah, and you're $40,000, $80,000 in debt, and now you realize what you want to do.
Yeah, you spent $20,000 a semester on some classes that you're not going to use because now you decide you want to do this. So that's like 40.
From a youth pastor perspective, I know you saw this too, is the students that are like, they do all the stuff for dual credit, right? While they're graduating high school, they're also getting some college experience.
Just some of that.
If they never take the test at the end, what was it all for? Or people that are in AP, what is it all for? Well, it's for better rankings, but you didn't even take the test at the end.
Yeah.
What was, and then that messes with their availability to come to church and to plug themselves in with their peers that they're going to be growing up with. And all that stuff is super important, not just while they're in youth group, but I don't look at students as just having them for a temporary time. I look at them like we have now been put into this geographical region together, and we're going to be living life together.
Yeah.
And though they're younger, I'm in a mentoring role, and now I need to help bring them along as well, right? But it's not just, okay, now you're out of my program, I'll get. No, not at all. I don't view them that way.
Right.
I let them know that they have that this is their home, this is our home, we belong here together. And I was talking to somebody just the other day about this, that there's a certain point in a parent's life where you cease to become the most influential person in your kid's life.
Yep.
And the age varies from here to there, but I also know this from being around youth for so long now as well, that they will listen to their peers more than their parents when they get a certain age. So it is in my benefit if I teach and instruct and mentor and love this generation well, because I know they're going to be the ones that speak into my kid's life whenever he's done listening to me. And that's one of my driving factors of like, I need to do this well. Yeah, it's a little self-serving, but I'm trying to do the best that I can for my kids and everybody else's kids too.
That's good. That's good.
I'd Googled the stat. What's the percentage of college students that change their major? I got a few different options. The lowest one is 50 to 70%.
Wow.
And then I got another one that says 75%, and another one said 80%. So basically, most of them are going to change their major at some point.
But you hear from the time you're in 8th grade, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
You gotta pick.
And come on, man, they're 8th graders. Let them learn math.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let them go through puberty. Like, these kids haven't even stopped squeaking yet.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? And you're forcing them to pick something.
I didn't hit my growth spurt till 9th grade.
That's what I'm talking about.
It wasn't much.
But you have to pick what you're going to do for the rest
spurt.
of your life. What's going to provide, like, income for your kids.
Yeah.
And you're not a kid yet. And I know there's, like, both sides to that, you know, that we're getting passed up by the rest of the world and all those all those different things. But, man, I think we put so much pressure on these young ones that we don't even allow them to be kids to enjoy that aspect before we're already at 16 saying choose an adulthood.
Yeah, and you brought the rest of the world into this, so but like you look at a culture like the Japanese, right? They are in a world of hurt right now. Because all their young people, they're not getting married, so they're not young anymore. They're in their 30s, late 30s. They can't start families anymore. They've been pushing this, women's empowerment thing, which is fine. But what these women are finding out is that now they're too old to start families. And now there is an actual population decline in Japan. And the guys and the girls are socially awkward. And that stuff is happening over here too. We're getting older and older and older, not having kids, not wanting families because I guess somehow, some way that's too misogynistic, right? That a woman should desire so much more than that. When really, like that is like the apex of creation.
Yeah, but you're getting a lot of kids too that because you're always going to have whatever's like the popular thing, but you're also going to have all these kids that are like rejecting the popular thing. And so like when I was growing up, it was normal to be like if you were going to be rebellious, you would be bad in some way, right? Because the good kids are kind of the normal thing. You go to church, you do whatever. Those are the good kids. But now it's like that's so common to be bad and rebellious or whatever and have all these crazy thoughts that if you want to be the rebel these days, you got to basically have like normal Christian values. So like now these kids are rebelling against stuff. It's them saying, no, I'd like a normal relationship with a normal guy, a normal girl. I'd like to have a normal family. That's like what the rebels are doing these days. And it's hilarious.
Well, you see that in people like, this is not a political thing at all, but when you see that in people like Candace Owens, you know, that she's I don't want to call her Republican, but she's, what do you call it? When you're Republican, you're more conservative, and everybody's like, you're black, how can you be conservative? You know what I mean? And that's so far outside of what the norm is that she's a unicorn. Yeah. And then it doesn't even make sense that just because you're a certain color or you're born in a certain place that you have to have certain beliefs.
But like I said before, like I work with a bunch of 18-year-olds, right? And so like I'm the married dude with a good relationship there. I'm the 30-year-old, you know, who's got a wife and stuff.
So you're the old dude at work.
Oh yeah, for
now
sure.
You know how I feel,
dude. It's the best, man.
Now you know how I feel.
I love it. I don't know quite how you feel. I'm not thinking about getting a tan.
Do they come up to me like, James, how do you keep it so mid, bro?
Yeah, dude. But they will randomly ask about, like, how do you do this with your wife? Like, they'll ask you those kind of questions and stuff because, like, that's what they're looking for because they've been pushed so much of this, you know, just all the promiscuous nonsense. And you can just see it in all the kids. Like, they're there's so many kids that are just rejecting that stuff. We like to
That's
make
good to hear.
it sound like, you know, everybody's going to hell, everybody's all these. These aren't even like Christian kids. These are just like normal kids that are saying, "Hey, this is what the culture is saying." That doesn't sound so good to me.
Man, you know, I remember whenever there was distinctions between jocks and geeks and, you know, emos and
Dude, they're all the
undergrad-
same these
and
days.
Everybody's the same.
It's crazy.
And you know, you look in Christian circles too. Somebody was asking me the other question about this other church that I won't name drop, but I said I'm too poor to go to that church. Right? I can't dress like they dress. And my ire with them is that especially young adults, right? Young adults are in this desperate pursuit to try to differentiate themselves, and they end up looking all the same, and they're cookie cutters of each other, but yet they want to, you know, they want to say how different they are from one another. Whenever you look exactly the same, you talk exactly
As all the other different
as
kids.
all the different
Yeah.
kids that are unique in their own space. Like just like you said, being normal now is the, you know, anarchist.
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
I'm going to be a rebel.
Bro, I'm
These
telling
days.
you, it is so, you're so right. Because preaching, you know, it's been a long time since I spoke into youth, right? And how long you been doing it?
8 years.
8 years. So it's been 8 years since I've really focused on like youth ministry. So I've been going and watching some of these like youth Christian podcasts. I'm just trying to get a little bit of what's going on in culture. Man, it is weird, you know, because like you say, they all talk the same, they all look the same, they all, you know, and they're trying to be so different with these big giant baggy pants with like, you know, their dad's paint all over them or whatever, and it's just, and they're talking words that I'm having to Google and all these things. And if you listen to them, they have really expensive clothes on, but they're trying to look like they're a bum.
That's what I was just saying.
Yeah, and they don't even comb their hair.
Unless they're poor. Then they have
it's
cheap,
wild.
crazy.
No, I don't listen to popular preachers now.
Yeah.
Not one thing. I don't tune in, and it's not because I have. I just don't want to become like them. I don't want to emulate them.
Right.
I don't want to talk like them. I'm fine being the dad joke guy.
Yeah.
Right. Making the youth uncomfortable by using their own language against them. You know, like, you know, it's like hey. Do I got Riz? And then they look at me and they look like gross, like cringy, right? But that's the point. That's why I do it. I want to be cringy.
Why do
to
you
this.
think it's cringy when I say it, but when you say you're what's the word?
What?
What's the youth word that's saying
For cool? I don't know.
for cool, whatever it is.
No, it's
I don't know.
facts.
Yo, that's straight facts.
Yeah. That's crazy. All right, let's jump right into.
Yeah.
Corner.
Alright. Caesar's back on the track. Let him hear
It's
about
given.
it.
It's given. It's given.
What? What's I thought you were actually going to say something.
It's giving mid.
Oh, this is giving mid vibes.
Oh, brought to you in part by Gen Z.
Alright, you want me to go first? Mine's
We talked
quick
about
and short.
Gen Z Bible last week or the week before.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah,
There,
that was wild.
It was.
So, what do you think about the Gen? Real quick, what do you think? What do you actually think about the Gen Z Bible? Is it a tool or is it nonsense?
Whoever wrote it was a tool.
Hey, there we go. I'm into it.
Could it be a tool?
For stupidity, for making yourself look like an idiot, for...
No, I'm going to take this enough.
He's not into it.
What do you got? What's your story?
Well, so actually, Caesar, I don't remember when Caesar sent us this, but he sent us this news headline. He said, "Hey, I got this for the podcast," and I kind of forgot about it until he said, "I'm coming on." So I looked into it. So the title of the thing that Caesar sent us says, "Elderly woman accused of training her 65 cats to steal from neighbors." And
Whoa!
and
I wasn't focusing enough.
It's got this mug shot of this old lady.
All right, say it again.
And it says, elderly woman accused of training her 65 cats to steal from neighbors.
Okay.
So that was what he sent me.
Well, first of all, that's pretty impressive that a cat will do that.
Well, but look.
65.
But listen, I looked into it, and it's not real. So
What part is not real?
the whole thing. So this other just says, like, yeah, the story about the lady stealing the cats, it's not true. It's from this website that makes fake headlines like that, and then they name some of the other ones. But that's not even the whole story, because they say, well, the mugshot that they used is from this lady that's a real mugshot of a real old lady.
What did she do?
And what she did is she got arrested for shooting at her neighbor because she asked him for a kiss and he said no thanks. Which, that's a good enough headline in itself. We didn't even need the fake headline. So that means, so kids, when your grandma wants a kiss, says, hey, come give Granny a kiss, you might need to do it.
Okay.
Because she might shoot at you.
Florida? Does this happen in Florida?
I don't know if it said. Let me
She's
see.
the no Riz Grizz.
The no. I like that, dude. That's good. It does. I don't think it says where she's from. Oh, it is St. Petersburg, Florida.
Told you. Called that one. Called that
you got
one.
it. Yeah, look at this lady, dude. You see that lady?
No way.
Yeah, so
she is like the
Yeah.
grandma,
Uh-huh. She said,
like 70.
She said, "Come give me a kiss." He said, "I'm. That's all right. I'm good." She said,
She's
"Well,
a-
I'll kill you."
She said, "Let me show you my. Let me show you my pistol."
Shot at him.
Show you my. I was watching a Dateline the other night.
Wait.
I'll kill you.
She,
Come give Granny some sugar.
she's shooting a shot.
She shot. Oh, wait. Shoot that shot.
She shot.
But
her
yeah,
shot.
so the headline wasn't true, but it still led to a good headline,
That's a great story.
which I think that's a win.
Hey,
Anyway,
shout
that's
out,
my
shout out
culture
to
corner.
the shout out to the states that still allow you to shoot your shot. I was watching Dateline, and this dude was going around like robbing all these like women, taking 401k, like getting in, he stole millions of dollars off of multiple women all over the country, right? He gets to Texas,
Yeah.
and that's where it stops.
That's where it stopped?
The lady said, when I found out, this is what the quote, she says, when I found out what he had done, I grabbed my dogs and my gun.
Yeah. Dude, you've been hearing about all these squatters?
Dude, the squatters are ridiculous.
And I'm thinking that, like, if I was a dude who owned a house and then some guy was like, nah, this is my house now. Like, I don't know for sure what I would do, but I imagine I would be forcibly removing him.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is they would let him right back in.
I would just keep attacking this guy.
But you would go to jail.
I would just get this guy close to death.
That's what I don't understand. Like, how can it happen?
Yeah, I just don't understand how they're like,
Did
no,
you hear about
seriously,
the
please
lady,
don't
the
do it.
nanny? The nanny. She worked for these people. She lived there, right?
Uh-huh.
They fired her,
Yeah.
and she's like, I'm not leaving.
Hey, good for you.
I live here. This is my room.
Yeah, that's-
And for a year and a half, they were in court battles to make her leave.
That one's a little different because she did at one time for sure live
She
there.
didn't live there. She worked there. That's like you going to work and it's like, nah, this is mine.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not on her side in this
No,
case. I'm
all
saying,
of this is mine.
I'm talking about those people where you just go away for the week and you come back, somebody's in your house, you're like, hey, what are you doing? This is my house. They say, no, this is my house now. And then they're just like, I
It's
guess
like-
I gotta call.
They have to be there like 90 days or something like that. So what's happening, a lot of these bread and breakfast, not the bread and breakfast, the Airbnbs.
And it's bed and breakfast, just
But
for the
yeah,
record.
what did
It's
I
not
say?
bread and breakfast. Go ahead. Keep
That's
going.
watching. It's
not
like
bread.
watch online TV, online.
Just for the record, you say it all.
He's not gonna make it too much.
Just so you know, all of it was wrong.
That's like watching church online. You're like in bed, just taking communion.
My bread and breakfast. But yeah, I don't get it. I don't think there's a ton of squatters over here.
Mansions are taking over, especially in Florida. It's a huge thing. Of course, huge thing in Florida. Mansions are being taken over by these guys.
I just feel like, dude, anywhere in Houston, if you show up and you're like, hey, this is my, like, you wouldn't even get the sentence out of your mouth being like, yo, this is my house now. I'm saying, like, somebody would be attacking you already.
Yeah, dogs and guns.
And, maybe you get the cops to do a whole thing if you're the squatter, but, like, you're taking a beating a lot.
Yeah.
People are going to drag you out on the street, like, literally, while they're curb stomping your faces. Say, hey, this is my house. Get out of my house.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
most
get how
of these
these
people are like not even in the same state though. They have this house that's over there that they're running a
stuff
bread
like
and
that.
breakfast in.
You're out of control. All right, you had a story, didn't you? Have something?
Hey, did you hear about the rust on the moon? Mm-mm. Shout out to Ruslan. He has a really good video out right now talking about rust on the moon and what it's this rock, and I forgot the name of the rock, but I want y'all to go check it out. It's the rock. The original name of the rock is in Greek. It translates to blood.
Mm-hmm. Hematite.
Hematite.
Okay.
And so this all goes back to the blood moon at the end times and all the things. So I think it's really interesting. I've seen about 4 or 5 minutes of the video. But here we are, just one more thing.
It's getting rusty.
It's bloody. And it's all coming, and they said it for what it is. And it was something that you was talking about a while ago. I think in Mark or Matthew, when it talks about the end times, I think it talks a little bit about it in Acts 2. Not Acts 2, but also Acts. About end times, the end times, everybody was just like, oh my gosh, the world's coming to the end, all this stuff. But in Mark or Matthew, it talks about what are we supposed to do in the end times? And it was something that you was talking about. You're just not their youth pastor, but you're their mentor. That's exactly what they talk about. Listen, all this is going to happen, but this is what you should do. You should mentor. We should be able to spread the gospel, all these things, instead of freaking out about the world coming to the end and the moon turning. I mean, it's good to have the knowledge, right? It's good to see the signs that are the prophecies that are being fulfilled and all those things. But that's not the stuff that we should be getting caught up in. What we should really be doing is what he talks about is in those books is the next step, man. This is the time that we really buckle down. And the people that are around us need to know the gospel. The people that God has put in your arms reached. Those are the people that we really need to start focusing in on and letting them know about what Jesus done for our life. And that's kind of where we are right now in the Easter season or just coming out of it. But I thought it was interesting because right now you're hearing a lot of the eclipse stuff, right?
Yeah.
That the one right before this or this one's going over all the cities of Nineveh or whatever. Did y'all see that that's supposed to be crossing the cities of Nineveh?
I'm not up to date with the eclipse info.
No, I only heard of what's happening over here in North America, not that.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. I think another one was ancient the one before this one was another ancient city that it crossed multiple of those cities through the world.
That eclipse is wild. People are shutting down their businesses. People are taking school, off. I was talking to your cousin over there in Centerville. He said everybody over there just shutting down for that whole day.
Just to watch the eclipse?
Just to watch the eclipse. It's going to be 2 or 3 minutes or whatever when it passes.
Well, in the hill country, that's the prime spot it's supposed to be in Texas.
100% covered.
Yeah, and they're those little cities are saying, listen, you need to bring your own food, bring your own gas, make sure you're bringing all that stuff because there will not be none and there will not be support for you here because they're having hundreds of thousands of people roll into these little small towns and if you don't bring your own food, you ain't eating, and they're coming to spend the weekend or whatever. And for this 3-minute, show, there's this guy on, I think it's Demolition Ranch or something. He's a guy that does a lot of gun stuff on YouTube. Well, he has this thing. He's opened up his property to come out there and, to do it. And he was just there's one thing I can guarantee you. We're going to have good music, live music, this, that. And I'm going to turn off the sun for 3 minutes, But I mean, I think it's going to be interesting.
Why is it that it's the older generation that always wants to study that out and they flip out more than anybody else? It's always Revelation, blood moon with them. It's never hey,
not with the kids.
Hey, let's talk about how we can just live better day by day.
No,
It's always like, let's go get John Hagee's
There's Rust on the Moon,
50,000 volume version of The Blood Moons.
It's true. Yeah, it is an older generation thing. I don't know why.
I don't.
Salem, the other one was Salem, and both of these. Let me pull it up and see if we can listen to the video real quick. Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna get it.
Well, I think our census was we don't know. We don't know why. It is an older generation thing, though. That people that focus on that the most.
Yeah.
Not to say that younger kids don't believe any of that at all, but yeah, they're not worried about that. They're
Well, it's because the older. Let the old guy talk about
yeah.
this.
Go tell us about it, please.
Because the older you get, the more you self-reflect on life.
Mm-hmm.
The more that you can see that coming to the end. When you're 20, man, you don't think about like, man, when we're 20, we're not even preparing for retirement. We're not even putting money away and
Unless
all
you're
those
James
things.
Nissen, you got your Roth IRA because you're the man.
Most people, and this is the time to do it because you can save minimal money and become a millionaire.
That's why I'm doing it.
Time you get my age and started doing, you got to save thousands of dollars a month, right?
Yeah, good luck. But I mean, that ain't no big thing for you, man. We know. Just
But that's why
Country
we
club
start really
living.
focusing on that, and then you start thinking about all the like prophecies in your lifetime that has been fulfilled, and then so
Yeah.
it just seems like it comes closer and closer. Let's listen to this. Y'all can watch it if y'all want it.
got it.
Okay.
Get that sound going. Turn the video volume up. I'm getting beeps from your computer, but not you, not the video.
Oh, it's probably on here.
Yeah.
It's another problem with the older generation. They just have a
It's
hard time with
always-
technology.
It really is.
Let me click this link.
I feel like my dad right now.
Yeah, you go ahead, hit it.
I just have to put in all my bank
Eclipse
information.
that
Thank
took place
you.
7
Volume
years
button.
ago.
Here we go.
Went right across America. There's another eclipse coming right across America. It'll make a perfect cross on the center of the nation.
God made the first sign go through 7 cities named Salem on August 21st, 2017.
The word Salem, according to the Bible, is peace. So God is saying 7 times he offered peace. The next eclipse is coming. It goes through several cities here, particularly Nineveh. Nineveh. So first we have 7 cities called Salem, and now 7 cities called Nineveh. 7 and 7. 7 cities called Salem, 7 cities called Nineveh, and 7 years apart. Right in the center of the cross is a city called Rapture. What is God's message? He's coming very, very soon. There was an
I don't know, and that's not the dude from Australia. The what is the one that's in trouble right now?
Oh, the Houston.
Yeah, Pastor Houston or whatever. That's not him.
It's not him?
No, it's not him. Interesting though, right?
It's interesting, but I think it's a witch hunt. Also, when people are like, it's like, okay, I believe in prophecy. Okay, let me preface it. Like, I believe in prophecy. I think Scripture shows it. I believe it. It says it. I'm skeptical of the prophets all the time.
I agree. Okay, very good.
All the time. And you'll be able to test a prophet by whether or not that prophecy comes to be. But whenever you're making general statements like it's coming soon, like okay, like there's no skill there. There's no discernment there. That it's a biblical 8-ball that these guys are
Yeah.
using.
Well, it's coming sooner than yesterday.
Well, yeah,
You're not
but I
wrong.
mean that's,
Right.
that's just,
I mean, it's easy to say.
yeah, horoscopes, right? And today you're going to have a good day if
Tell
you're
me a
nice to
little bit
people.
about yourself, and then I'll tell you exactly what you told me.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, the time is coming. Well, duh.
But also, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm supposed to be living every day. Like, could be the last.
Like, because he's coming like a thief in the
Dude,
night.
would you turn your notifications on? You.
And they ask Jesus, hey, Jesus, when are you coming back? When are you coming back, Jesus? And when he say, hey, only the Father knows that. I don't even know that.
Yeah.
So then these people, April 32nd.
Yeah, that's always my thing. Anytime people are like, I'm following this calculation, I figured out, so it's going to be within this time. I'm like, if you believe the Bible and these prophecies and stuff, you should also believe where it says nobody knows when he's
Nobody
coming.
knows when the time is.
So why even
He's
spend...
like, well, Paul said we're in the last days. Yeah, 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're that much closer, but don't try to scare me into thinking it's scary.
But
enough.
again, it's just like, what am I supposed to do?
So, what is the difference between prophecy and then this dude right here talking about these are